What's up, Echoes? I wanted to chat with you guys about your game 2 against SES in our previous series. Starting off the game, I wanted to talk about this like early invade that we do. It's a lot less coordinated compared to game 1 in this series. We have our top laner going to play his bush, and we have our bot lane also playing their bush, and we have our mid lane scouting out our red side jungle. So we're going to be a little alone here. I understand it's your second game back in the comp, aside from any real like scrims or whatever. But like looking to go here at 30 seconds is really really early. In my opinion, you need to wait till like 40 to 45-ish seconds to like walk in here and do anything like crazy. But if you would have waited, you would have probably saw somebody. You would have had a little more time to like flash out because you would have seen big red champions, and you would have gotten out because it's scary. But we die. We end up burning a flash. Thankfully, we get 2 flashes for our death, so that's not entirely the worst thing in the world. As we're showing up to this bot lane, we end up trying to push it, though it's a little too early in the game to be able to like push it in and like get it under tower. If you would have just froze it here, you would have probably got to the point where it would have like killed 1 minion and maybe a second one. But who knows? One for sure. But now we get to know that Jinx is definitely down a single minion in terms of XP. So whenever you look to play level 2, you have a lead, and like that's going to be nightmare fuel for her. So she has to play a little scared. So just make sure you play with that in mind, because whenever we're looking at this, they hit level 2, and if you're still unsure if she just needs 1 more minion, they end up getting this minion. So we should be looking to play like hyper aggressive here to look to get flash or cleanse or just something out of the Jinx. Primarily her. We don't really care too much to hit Nautilus, and we have like heal and barrier, and she has cleanse, so she's down a combat some for the most part. So it'll be a really easy play for our bot lane to make this happen. And then the next little bit is whenever we're chilling, we see that Bray 3 camps, and instead of us like actually playing for her blue side, we would have been able to run up and take her blue, and then like ideally probably take her Gromp, because then whenever she walks back in, she likely goes here and then just hops over the wall and then just starts hitting these, or she'll just actually path all the way down. One of the two. Hopefully you end up getting like her blue, her Gromp into like bot crab into your entire red side, reset, and then open top half of the map, and she'll probably just like immediately go over towards top crab, so you don't really need to play for that, and you would just start your second full clear and then just go from there. Which would have been like massive for you, but we don't really do anything with that information or whatever. The second little bit that I wanted to yap about was how Geo actually plays this top part. At some point you're gonna have to like understand that she's gonna tank this, so since she flashed at the start of the game, she doesn't have it now, so I get wanting to try to bait it out, but you're really looking forward to just doing a bunch of damage here. If you just turn around and just look to like W her or like auto W, she's gonna be fucked and she's gonna die here. And also like you'll just go kill for kill. If not, just flash a little early and just make sure that you try to live, because it's just a little too hard to try to flash, especially like at a weird diagonal angle. Get more distance with it, go all the way down south, and you might have been fine here. But yeah, those are just 2 things I saw whenever I was watching. La-da-dee-da, la-da-dee-da, 410. Excuse me. I'm gonna want to watch bot lane. Alright, it's coming up right around here. Okay, so there's a few things here. We see Jinx went into this lane bush, and we see Nautilus is walking up. So right now should be a clear indicator that we just like really want to play in this like triangle here, because like Nautilus just isn't a part of it. So if we just ask Nami to empower us and we just W forward towards Jinx, then you will have the slow and the damage, and she's going to have to burn flash to get out. Otherwise, we're just going to walk up and press bubble, and like it's just going to be really, really sad for them. So we're just missing out either some communication or just some like silent, like I guess mechanical skill to pull this off. It becomes even more apparent whenever she actually looks to trade onto us, and we see that Nautilus has pathed this way to ward our Tri-Brush so they don't get ganked. But we should be abusing the fact that she is currently isolated and she shouldn't have flash by this point. We should be able to just walk her down. As Corki, we have flash and we have W, so we can make a really, really easy play on her. Maybe a potential kill, depending on if we're willing to like super play for this, but she's very isolated here. And so like nothing really happens, as you can tell. So it ends up being really sad. I do think we just get the 2v1, we get a summoner spell, maybe a kill, but either or, doesn't really matter. And then we look over here. Ahote, you're doing a fantastic job. You get this top crab. And so now you end up having 1100 gold. And it looks like you're going to do your second full clear. Let's not do this. Press your back button. Let's go get some items. Let's come back out on the map. And then let's initiate our full clear. Our second one. Immediately pathing over here is very, very troll. I don't like this. Ends up being a little slower because you just don't have items. The new season has home guard buff, so don't bother. Just whenever you're done getting your crabs and whatnot on your first full clear, just press B, go back, do your shit. But yeah. And oh, I guess like oh yeah. There was another bit. This extends a little bit further. If we just like pop our barrier early and then we also have heal, low key we just turn around and we just hit this Jinx and it would have been fine. Because after all of this, like you still have your health pot and you can just kind of fight it out, and you can play inside like the bush for canceling vision as well. So it should have been like really, really fine there to play that out. But if you would have played it a little earlier and then she would have no flash, then maybe that situation wouldn't evolve into that. Or if it still did, then she just wouldn't have flash to play it out, so you would just kill her anyway. That doesn't really matter. Because we didn't do it. But yeah. And then Ahote does a big dum-dum, apparently, at 5.5. I was not very happy, because it just says Ahote in all caps with 3 question marks. Oh. Geodize. Oh, yeah. So we finish our Raptors, and instead of just coming down here and like finishing our full clear, we just like leave the shit up for some reason. Not entirely sure what we're doing here. Feels a little bad, but let's just not, because now it's just desynced with the rest of our jungle. I'm just not a fan of it. I guess it gives you incentive to come over here and play for this dragon, but for the most part, like, you could have just came back bot to play for dragon. You could have went top side and looked to gank top. You have your choices. You have setup in either lane. Like, you could have hovered mid or something. You would have had a perfect gank timer after you would have just finished Krugs and just pressed B. So, you know, like that. 6 minutes. Oh. Yeah. Here, it looks like you guys might be communicating that you're looking to gank bot, make a play here. So whenever you're needing to do some setup, instead of just flinging our bubble, just empower Bray and just tell him to go in, because you're going to press E on him playing Nami, and let him get the slowdown, and then he can just walk forward, and you guys just play on this Nautilus. You don't really need to hit Jinx here, because it's the closest target that Trundle might get to hit. So if we get the slows, we might get the bubble, and if like we bait it out with like Bray's body, then he still has flash, so he can't really die. So if he just like walks over like up here, then it puts him like in a straight line for Nautilus to hit him. Yeah, I'm in art school, I guess. But yeah, would have been fine. And then we end up going. Looks pretty good. I actually don't think that flashing for this Jinx is completely worth it. Low-key, I think we just spent our time hitting this Nautilus, would have been super nice. And then we don't really need to fully back out after we flash. We just need to turn around and then just hit this Briar. But we get a little scared and we just kind of keep like shaking off. But, oh well. Good shit on you, Cam. You got a return kill. Nice. Oh, fun fact. I'm not going to really harp on you, Cam, for like Pinks' game. You got 0 at the end of the game for what the client actually displays, but you only ever buy like 1, and it's at the very end of the game. So yeah, I come through the entire video already at 8 times speed, so don't worry. Looked it over. Yeah. Next little bit is a Graham thing. Whenever we're like pushing this and we see our laner down here, look to hit the tower and then like clear out the waves so you're maximizing your gold, but also multitask for your team. Just go ahead and drop a ward like over here, since like we know Briar just finished making a play bot side. They might look to either reset and come up red side, or they're going to reset and go play dragon. And we can determine what they're going to do if we just walk forward and decide to throw our ward into their Raptor pit. And yeah, it'll just be really good information to have. We can just multitask and get a few things done at the same time. I think it's fun. Had another bot thing. Holy. Oh, I think it's where Bray resets, Cam dies solo. Yeah. Under tower, not your fault. Here, Nautilus is like stupidly low. So at this point, you just need to like try your best to like stress this Jinx out. You still have Elixir and everything else, so you should be fine to make this play here. But yeah, just walk forward. See if you can kind of like sneakily try to get your W in there as close as possible so you can run her down. Because if Nautilus shows up, you just kind of like one tap him and he's dead. So he can't really risk giving a whole lot of gold because Jinx is a fake champ in terms of lane. So that would be fun. Oh, I see. Okay. Same timestamp. Yeah. So whenever we're making a play topside, as a jungle, we need to like discuss who has CC and like who is going to initiate this play. And at this point, like it needs to be Jax. Like ideally, like he just can't stand like in any of these locations. Otherwise, Sett will just like press R on him, and then he still has flash to get out, and like they won't give up a whole lot of gold. So like he just needs to wait. And if he just says like wait 1 second, then you just sit in this bush for a little longer and until he gets his E back and he'll jump forward and then you just run at him. Preferably like along this way. Like and as the lines kind of go up if he starts clicking back, right? But that way you're not giving him an out as Trundle, and the Jax also doesn't give him an out either. So just discuss layering CC so we have like really clean plays. What the fuck? How did I go back? Sorry, my autism kicked in. Otherwise, we end up like pillaring and it ends up like kind of making our Jax collide with it, and then he does this. Whereas if we had him set up first and then like we walked forward as Trundle, even if he flashed, we would have pillar and like we just still catch up because of like Trundle W and Smite and everything else. Like it would be fantastic. Otherwise it burns our Jax's flash. So if we made this play and killed this set with him burning flash, it would have been fantastic because then Jax still has his flash and he can make a play after you're gone, and hopefully he gets to turn that into a solo kill later on, or maybe just doesn't die to a gank. But there's that. Oh. Okay, so it's a mid-jungle thing coming up. We see everyone's bot side, so for the most part, just the same thing as last time. just go ahead and multitask. We see Briar bot. They took Dragon already. So ideally, our jungler is looking to play up here. But still, we have a timer on their Raptors now because Ahote already checked it. And so we just need to go ahead and drop another ward here into the Raptor pit so we can keep checking when Briar's here. That way we can like dodge ults that she flings at us as Lysandra or whatever. So you should be fine to do all this. It's just like not like, I don't know, too mental taxing to walk forward and just throw a ward here. The other little bit that I wanted to talk to Ahote about was whenever you're walking here and like you hit the scryers, you might have to angle it just a little bit better, but we do clip it. We see the Krugs are there and like we know everyone's bot. At this point in the game, I understand that you want to reset and then likely play for your red side all the way back up because Sett doesn't have flash, but if you do some fuck shit on them and decide to path all the way over here and then just take this camp and then come back over here and then gank Sett with no flash, then you can just go ahead and then just come back to your camps and then play that out. You'll have flash from your Jax and he can go ahead and enable that play by flashing forward and giving you setup, and you'll still have pillar and everything else. So you would be able to definitely play this out instead of resetting. I think it's a missed opportunity, but that's okay. It's not really a blunder in my opinion, but it's just a very, very tiny thing. 11:30 is apparently the next one. It's the bot lane then, if you can't tell. So here, we just get hooked. So as we're getting hooked, make sure that you're just popping your barrier early, because as a Nautilus, like he's gonna have like his Q, his ult, his auto attack, stun passive. So there's a ton of CC here that you're just gonna have to sit through here. And if this Jinx isn't like a little special in the head, she can just drop traps at any given point and then continue layering that CC on top of you. So low key, if you would have just kind of committed and then just played this out. Oops. Tee hee tee hee. If you would just turn around and then just start trying to hit this Jinx, it would have paid out like a little easier. You would have kind of like scared this Jinx into likely not hitting you, but I mean, at least you would have got some type of damage down. And you also have Elixir, it's not that big of a deal. Also, Nami could have just blocked the hook and then just offered herself up as a present, allowing Corki to free hit because we just already threw our bubble down. So our usefulness really wasn't like that grand at that point. I get we shouldn't be punished by like not being the prime target, but at this point, like Nautilus like can't really miss at this point. So he has two targets, but like Jinx can really only hit Corki instead of Nami. But if you just walk here, then she can actually hit you as well. And so if he hits you with a hook, then you guys just like turn and just flip it on this Jinx, is what I mean by fighting her. But should have been fine. We'll keep going. 11:30 is the next one apparently. Oh yeah. Here they use Nautilus Hug, Auto E, and like Jinx W as the ADC. Like they've already used Nautilus's entire kit, so there's no real reason we need to like go from here and clicking the way we're going. We need to just like walk forward and then just full combo this Jinx down, because hitting this Nautilus trying to walk backwards doesn't really do a whole lot for us. Even though she has a Yuntal, it needs to scale up, right? It has no crit. It's just a bunch of attack speed, realistically. So she's not going to get a whole lot of damage out onto you. It's only whenever they finally kill this Jinx is when it gets scary. But if you apply damage to her, then she's going to have to click away in the attempt to like kite you out, you know? It also peels Nautilus's like gaze away from the Nami. and it'll allow Nami to go ahead and probably cycle through another ability or so. But it's completely playable at this point. You still have Elixir and everything else. You're good. It's a little crazy. We get so much CC down, but we don't actually like end up fighting this Jinx at the like best time possible. And like at this point, like if we had just popped our Elixir a little earlier, since it lasts for like an entire minute, like we might not even need to realistically flash on this Jinx, and we could just keep kiting this Nautilus out at a much higher health, and then just flash him, and then just like take him as well. We would die to Briar, but that part doesn't really matter too terribly much. Graham's my next one. He just shows up down here, and he rotates from mid to bot, and then teleports back. But instead of just like, I don't know, recalling with 2k gold and buying, you teleport mid, clear the wave, and then back. I don't know, that just doesn't look very worth it to me at all. In my opinion, just go back, buy your items, and then just take the L on the wave. You know, I mean, you would lose out probably half of it, but you would get the other half, and it doesn't look as goofy, you know. But that's just my opinion. I guess it's mostly jungle thing. Yeah, we get spotted here. We burned flash. So now, like, we don't have flashes from jungle and bot side on our team. So it's really hard to, like, make plays against them as, like, Nautilus, Vigar, Briar. They'll just keep us at bay because we don't really have a whole lot of dive onto their carries that isn't, like, Lissandra, right? And she can only stun one of them. But I would probably just come to give this away and then look to play for like Crab into like a top gank, or like look to invade afterwards. Otherwise we just kind of like pitter patter around and we don't really get a whole lot accomplished, and we try to make up for it by pressing W, going from red side to blue side. 1420 is my next little bit. Has Bray. Oh, right. We start catching some experience from Triple Tonic, or with Triple Tonic we get skill point. If we just throw that into our E and get an additional 50 damage, we can look to fight this out, and it would have been fine. Because we get the fight in, and we actually do like a massive chunk of damage, but it would have been a lot better had we just like pressed this out, and like then we can start like hitting them a little harder. Refresh reset, they're going to have to reset anyway, so just keep shoving this out and then just get your free gold from hitting this tower. You don't need to fish for damage a whole lot here. Just like, it's good damage that you're doing, but you're like losing out on the wave, so you're gonna have to stand in front of these casters rather than like standing behind the melee minions. So I would have just looked to hit the tower, because if they try to make a play on you, then your Nami's there to like bail you out essentially. But we finally get it. It ends up looking really good. So that's awesome. Something about Trundle Pillar. Oh yeah. Yeah. Graham does a very good job layering out his W and his R this game. What I had was the use of Trundle Pillar here is, instead of like walking around, it looks like we think that this circle is Vigor Cage, when in fact it's just Lissandra ult. So at this point, if you just drop Pillar like along this spot, it'll like knock him to you since a displacement, and it allows you to go ahead and get your like damage off onto this Vigar. It would have enabled you to get this kill here. And if Briar still throws her ult and lands, then you likely will just kill her as well, since Lissandra should be relatively full HP. But yeah. And then, oh yeah, the last little bit of this play was when we're looking at this and you get the fear and you're trying to come over here and save the day and be a hero. As that root's timing out, low key, just drop a smite on this Briar. Might not help too much, but since she will be frenzied, she's gonna have to run into tower range, and like if we had stun on Lissandra, they might be able to do something more here in a different world. But for the most part, you'll get the slow, and then you might just get some more damage out onto the Spire from like the tower and whatnot. Just kind of giving like Lissandra a little more time to get away. But that was the extent of what I saw for this play. 1645. It's another Ahote a little bit. Oh, nice. It's all good. So here, whenever you're coming out from the base onto the map, I don't know if you do it already because I don't really hear comms for your league games, right? Unless there's scrims. Whenever you're coming out on the map, from now on, calm your intent of what you want to do. So, like, as you're leaving the base, are you looking to take Krugs and then go bot lane? Or are you looking to just, like, go Krugs to red to Raptors all the way up? Right? Or, like, are you looking to do red to something else? But if you're unclear of what you decide to do, because you know that your bot lane can provide some type of setup for you, your mid lane can definitely give you setup for a gank, low key, you can just come to red and then just like watch and eyeball both mid and bot, and if mid is the better play and it has a higher percentage chance of just like making it happen, then you go to Raptors. If it's bot lane, then you just go to Krugs. Right? And it'll help you determine like where you want to go. But just calm what you want to do from now on every time you leave base for every game. But that's what I would look at for pathing in this particular moment, and that way it shows like how you want to go about certain plays. And then the best play I think I've ever seen this fucking iteration of Echoes actually perform. I haven't locked onto you yet. Is actually like this insane play that happens bot. Zoom in a little bit. It lasts from 17 minutes all the way to 18 minutes. It's beautifully done. Nobody dies. We get 3 kills. We get a tower. We get actually tier 2 tower as well. And then on top of that, we actually come forward and gank mid, and we do a fantastic thing where we end up getting this kill here as well. And then we allow ourselves to just come over here. Whenever you're 30 seconds off this dragon, whenever you're done with this kill and you're clicking this way, just make sure you press tab, check out the dragon timer, and then just look to go ahead and reset here. Because you shouldn't really need anything with like 2,900 gold and like 2 components already. That should be like more than enough to buy whatever fucking item you deserve at this point, right? It puts you out on the map like really, really early. Otherwise, whenever you're out here, dragon's up, and we should basically be over here like at this tri-brush, like entering the river. And so we're actually here to contest dragon when it spawns, rather than like playing to actually like contest this, right? Because now, since we have to go through the jungle, it's dark on this side and we're just not here. So as a jungle, it's a little scary. As an ADC, having blue trinket, at some point you need to give your team some type of like vision, right? Be a team player. Bro, don't you play baseball or something? I don't know, be a teammate. Drop a blue trinket over here at the stripe brush. Drop one over here. It doesn't really matter where you decide to drop one. Fuck it, drop your pink in here. And like clear vision out there, and like, you know, help yourself like establish some type of control in this area. Make Jax go ward enemy tri-brush, you know? And then like put your blue trinket up here. Like, you have a ton of different options to choose from to like play for this dragon, since you guys are winning the game now. If we look at this, like currently, we are equal level in the top lane. We are up a level in the jungle. We are up a level in the mid lane. We are also up a level in the ADC department, and we are up a level in the support department. So if we look to control this dragon, if we're like, if anybody on our team, as we're looking to play this, right, we have to play to control this area before we actually get to hit this dragon. Whenever you're walking towards it, just press tab, look at levels, look at items, and determine what's going on. Like, essentially, our top laner has a gold lead because he just happens to have more items. We can look that our jungle has 2 completed items, so he has a massive lead over their jungle. We see that our mid laner also has a lead over their person as well, so that's pretty nice. It's just cheap items, so don't worry about that. Tier item, GG's. And then we also happen to have 2 items onto our Corki, and one of her components just happens to be an agility cloak, so it's not even raw damage, you know? So it doesn't really matter. And then support. Teehee. No one cares about their items. But you guys have so much, like, advantages here, it's actually insane. Like, this should just never be close. And that was good. We burned Nautilus Flash. That's fantastic. But since we're up so much, and from to that point to before, whenever we're going on all of this, at this point, whenever there's like 2-3 people in like super chunked range and the other 2 are up here, like Bray, you finally have the green light to go ahead and just like W forward on Corki and play this out. You don't need to kite this at all. You're under no threat of death here. And then Ahote, you just need to flash forward onto this Vigar and kill him. And then just like, if you kill him, they kill the Briar, you guys just turn around and kill this Nautilus immediately after. Jinx can't really damage you too much. Like, flashing here doesn't do a whole lot. But yeah, and then good try, Geo. He's just gonna Pepsi out of the fight. Regardless, we played it well. We got our kills. We won the fight. Fantastic. I'm not gonna complain too much. The next one that I had is for Geo. We happen to have 1300 gold. We hit this. Looks like we just want more gold. And we start hitting this crab here. But like, we should be looking for this mid lane because we'll get more gold from this than we will this. Like, it just doesn't need to happen. If you just ignore all this and say we're playing on the Nautilus and you just look for a EQ combo onto him, then you allow Nami to walk up and get her CC in as well, and then Corki gets to play his game because he's too far away from the Jinx to be able to play his game. And then Trundle, you just chill in the jungle. Lysandra, you're not even anywhere here, bro. You're in a different zip code. Like, you can't fucking play. So, yeah, I don't know. Crab for this doesn't seem worth it in my head, because at this point, if you get 1, maybe 2 kills, then you end up just crashing this mid tower and you get a fuck ton of gold. And the last little bit here ends up being for Bray. Whenever you have your blue trinket here and it's coming back up, determine who needs it. What's on the map coming up? Is Geo like in threat of really throwing this game? He trolled a little bit and got Bork. I don't like Bork. It doesn't do a whole lot this game. Low key, just get Sundered Sky, bonk people on the head, get your health back, get your flat HP stat. You don't really need attack speed. You got some already from Trinity Force, so that's fantastic. If anything, you can give it to your Lysandra. You can just place it anywhere in their red side jungle to help her split. You can give it to your Jax to help him split as well. But primarily the Lysandra, because she is actually playing for a tier 2 rather than Jax. He's not. So that's how I would divvy it up in my head. But you do you, bro. Let's just not sit on it for too long, because I think we just use it like over here for no real reason. Not entirely sure. Oh well, doesn't matter. We don't really use it effectively. I guess we dropped it at some point. Where the fuck did we drop it? What the hell? I don't know. I think it was up here. Alright, but yep. GG's, fellas. You guys get the 2-0. We are picking shit up as a team. Lovely.